Jacinda Ardern says New Zealand's differences with China are becoming harder to reconcile.
Here's a summary of the article.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said on Monday that differences between New Zealand and China are becoming harder to reconcile as Beijing's role in the world grows and changes. In a speech at the China Business Summit in Auckland, Ms. Ardern said there are things on which China and New Zealand do not, cannot, and will not agree, but added these differences need not define their relationship. It will not have escaped the attention of anyone here that as China's role in the world grows and changes, the differences between our systems, and the interests and values that shape those systems, are becoming harder to reconcile, Ms. Ardern said. China, New Zealand's largest trading partner, has accused the Five Eyes of ganging up on China by issuing statements on Hong Kong and the treatment of ethnic Muslim Uyghurs in Xinjiang. Ms. Ardern said New Zealand would continue to speak about these issues individually as well as through its partners. Managing the relationship with China is not always going to be easy and, there can be no guarantees, Ms. Ardern added. Ms. Ardern said how China treats its partners is important.
This post received a score of 6,600, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
China. The elephant in everybody's room.
China. The only reason the entire officer corps of the 7th Fleet hasn't been fired like 4 times over. Any context? What is this referring to?
Google, Fat Leonard.
Ms. Ardern said there are things in which China and New Zealand do not, cannot, and will not agree, but added these differences need not define their relationship. Satisfy both East and West.
Being a minnow in a shark pond means learning to be friendly with everyone, and New Zealand is really good at that game. When a Kiwi Prime Minister calls you out in public rather than in a back room, no matter how mild that disapproval may sound, it's the New Zealand equivalent of a proper dressing down. Jacinda's getting tetchy with Winnie the Pooh.
She's not been afraid to say such things.
Oh Simon, Australia doesn't count.
They can, but just to 10 or so.
Here's some context to Ardern's comments. New Zealand has sought to diversify trade away from a reliance upon China for some time now, having experienced the dangers of dependence on one export market once before in our history. Our previous foreign minister put it beautifully. Essentially, we sent our last foreign minister to Washington, D.C. and told the Trump administration that they are losing the Pacific to China because they remain protectionist. As for turning a blind eye to China's horrific human rights violations, but it has been anything but silent. For all of these reasons, New Zealand was warned by China that its eyes would be. We didn't stop, though. New Zealand invested $1 billion over 4 years in a foreign affairs strategy that sought to reassert our influence and contain China's within the South Pacific island countries.
Diversification is almost always a wise course of action. Don't put all your economic eggs in one basket. Do business with everyone so no one will have too much leverage over your economy, and when shit hits the fans, you have friends in high places. TBH, you can't even trust us today considering what happened in the last admin. Trump literally tried to make Canada public enemy. Who knows what will happen in 2024, or even 2022. For a small country like NZ, this is essential national strategy. No one has the right to blame NZ for pursuing this.
We learnt this the hard way after the United Kingdom joined the European Economic Community. Since then we've been a free trading nation that endeavours to negotiate with anyone, to hedge our bets and keep our export share diversified. The exceptions have been Australia and China. Australia because we are rapidly creating a de facto single market, and China because unlike the United States they were willing to engage bilaterally. With any luck, Biden will seek to re-engage with us on trade sometime soon, although I understand that TPP is a poison chalice in the US right now.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.